You little rotten keg tapper, no name having, looking ragged, lame rapper. You nut hugger, butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that. My real friends call me Ash.
Welcome to 13 Minutes, the show where I interview my friends from high school who have more going on in life than me. This week's guest performed at my first show ever, Zack Tomasko.
How you doing?
What's up, feller?
Ain't nothing, man.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you also.
Do you have a Valentine?
I do. Her name is Emily and she's upstairs.
Shout out to Emily.
Shout out to Emily, of course.
What does Zack Tomasko sound like?
I don't think I have any control over that.
What controls it?
I have no idea. I'm not saying it's some like weird mystic astral thing. It's just like something will get stuck in my head, like some weird it'll be like a circus noise or something, and then eventually and then I'll just put it, and it can end up being like a surf rock song based off this weird circus noise. It doesn't make any, like, there's no real reason to anything but the lyrics. The music is however I can drive the lyrics through it, really.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's sweet though, because you always tell like dope stories, so
I appreciate
the music helps push the story, you know.
I try, yeah, that's...
You don't just like ramble on about nonsense.
Yeah, I do, sometimes, but only if that's kind of, if I feel like that's what it should be at that point. If I feel like this should be nonsense, then maybe it should be. And there's, there's things where like a guitar solo would traditionally be, there's just like muffled speaking that you can't understand and things. And like, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. But it's, you gotta try to make it. Like, if you get that stuck, you gotta try it.
Yeah, you try all kinds of different shit, huh, Drew? Drew knows all kinds about experimenting with music.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the most experimental musician I've ever met. So, is your real name Zack Tomasko? Is that a stage name?
That is my real name.
Oh, okay. It's the government.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you the most interesting man in the world?
I fucking hope that I'm not even close.
Because your Instagram leads me to believe that over the years you may have somehow become the most interesting man in the world.
The last 3 pictures of me on my Instagram are me, like, practically shirtless in this basement with like 3 different pairs of glasses on, and I don't know why. I have no idea why that it has a role in anything, so I wouldn't say that I even remotely qualify.
Do you like the Cold War kids?
I love the Cold War kids.
Do you feel like you know why I asked that question?
I know that I covered hospital beds at the Humanities Club acoustic show one year.
Oh, that's pretty dope. I just pulled that little factlet out of you. It's like a little chicklet, but it's a fact, so it's a little factlet.
Factlet.
No, actually, that's not why I asked. I just feel like you really don't have the same voice inflection as the singer, but you sound like Cold War kids, man. Your music, a lot of it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. I listen to them a lot especially like when I was learning how to do this remotely well at all. Like they were, the way they played with other stuff, and I guess I mean more like I think what really got me into them was the and We Used to Vacation.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why, but my favorite Bob Dylan album was Highway 61 Revisited, like when I was listening to Cold War Kids. And so there's a line that they just rip off completely, obviously tastefully, but I give a check to tax-deductible charity organizations from the Bob Dylan song off that album.
Oh, I never knew that was a Bob Dylan line.
Yeah,
right.
It's, I can't remember what song it is, but that album's awesome. And just hearing them like do this whole cool rhythm change where it just is kind of like how Bob Dylan says it, but not at all in the same sense. And it was...
Like, it's the nod, but they did it their own way.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, tasteful. Like, it didn't upset me. Like, sometimes, like, I'll hear a thing that, like, samples something, and I'm like, that shouldn't be there.
Hey, it started a whole beef between Nas and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I mean, I know, I'm like a stickler for that, too. Don't ruin good art to make shitty art, for sure.
I agree 100%.
Which is probably like how people feel when they hear the samples that are used in like beats and shit songs I make. Anyways, though, it's not about me. What kind of cigarettes do you smoke?
I don't anymore.
No? You quit?
I quit, like, I don't know, maybe a year ago. Like, for pretty much completely, like, don't buy packs anymore. I still Juul a lot, but...
So Juul's the preferred way. What kind of Juul do you smoke?
Virginia Tobacco 5%.
What is that? What does it taste like? Marlboro Red?
If you hit it really hard, it kind of tastes like someone hit a cigarette near you. So it's like, that's as close as you can get. And that's enough. It's also really cool because I call them theater hits. If you just hit it really hard and don't exhale for a while, no smoke comes out. So sitting in a theater, you can just continually do it and there's no evidence at all if you just can hold it for like 15 seconds.
Does that give you like a crazy fucking nicotine buzz now? Or are you a pro by now?
I mean, I smoked a lot for a long time, and then just kind of went straight to these. So I don't think my nicotine consumption level has really decreased that much. It's in a new metal body.
So is the song Juul Punk about you then?
Fuck, Juul Punk. I've never had anyone ask me questions about my songs before. Sorry, this is just surreal to me.
Oh, just wait. There's more.
I don't know what Juul Punk's about. Juul Punk was just, I don't know. You know, like the crazy fucking kid that like is like hyper as hell, and you know is just gonna end up in jail at some point.
Yeah.
But not even for like really hurting anyone. Like that's just they're not malicious. They're just kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was thinking about like the Floor is Lava game, and it just turned into this whole weird thing. And I recorded it. I wanted to make like a one take where nothing really mattered kind of song. So like I just played that guitar and improvised it. I put like fucking drums under it real quick, and then played a bass line, whatever order, and just only allowed myself one take of each one. And then just yelled shit over it, and then that imagery of the Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah, what is that? What the fuck is that monolith? That's
monolith.
Is that what you? Okay, yeah, I was wondering what that. Yeah,
it's a still from the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I still have to finish watching that movie, dude. I fucking fell asleep when I tried to watch it.
Don't worry.
I've never liked it as much as other people, personally, but
it serves its purpose.
Yeah, watch it for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I don't love it more is because a lot of what it was the first to do, I already liked movies that came out like 20 years later that did it, like just copied it. Sorry.
Smack the fuck out of it, dude. Smack it off the set.
Fucking hit the lights. What were we? I'm sorry.
Space Odyssey, something about a Juul.
The monolith, yeah, the Juul as the monolith just was real. It's just funny to me. Just like this monolith that's supposed to represent like all of human knowledge and like all of what it means to be a person.
And that's the Juul. That's what.
And
it
it's
is
just
now.
the Juul. It's just meaningless. And it's just. I don't know why. It's just taking someone else's like beautiful piece of art and I just put a Juul in it. Made me laugh. It was a quick process that I didn't think much about.
So do you do all of your artwork then? For your singles and your album covers and stuff?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I think I've done everything.
Okay, yeah, because it seems like there's like cool little designs I see, you know, when I go listening from song to song or... I don't know. I mean, you have like full albums out, right? They're not...
I have only one full
album. Only one album?
Technically,
because it seems like there's a couple different projects, but they weren't like full albums, right?
It's for there have been... I've announced and scrapped a lot of albums since that first one came out. And
what's that one called? The first...
What You Hold Sacred Is Holding You Down. That's like a quick remaster, get it back out thing. And... just to get it back up on.
And that's
Spotify.
Like with like the picture of like that mountain shit or whatever.
That
right?
yeah. There was an original art. There's a new artwork for the new one. I just again, like we were talking about how just some of the ideas changed for what I thought that album kind of meant, and when that happened, I just wanted to change the artwork and update it because I thought I had gotten better at certain aspects of design and wanted to see what I would do with the old stuff. So that was fun.
Well, what instruments do you play?
I can play the drums, but I usually program them instead of recording them live. So I really guess I don't play the drums anymore in any practical sense. I'm learning piano. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for a while. I can play bass. I'm not a bass player. I'm not an expert at any of these. I'm not I'm all right at best at a couple of things. I really try to focus on like the songwriting aspect of it and making whatever works work.
Oh, and it works.
And well, thank you very much. Yeah. But it's just like the more I play the piano and the more how my writing style grows, I'm kind of starting to learn that I think I should have started with it. I think I'm like a piano kind of songwriter. But that's just a
so
new
you think it's
revelation
shift towards that a little bit.
I don't know if it's gonna. It definitely plays a part in a lot of music, but at the same time, so does like garage rock stuff, where it's just like I kind of want this guitar to sound shitty. And I don't care.
People don't understand. Like they don't get the want for that, but there is such a want. I love that.
There's something about it. There's something about it that just makes it feel more a part of. Like there's more interaction with it when it's kind of fucked up,
tangible.
Like
you can grab this right there. Yeah.
It's something that it's a physical way to access it. Almost. Something
that'll sit down and drink a cup of tea with you.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. What do you like better, man? Weed or brews?
I do like both, but definitely weed.
Weed better?
For me.
What's the best way to smoke?
I like cones. Preferably, like everything is fine. Any way to get it is nice. It's still fun to like do a gravity bong because you feel like 14 when you're
I've
cutting
been
off
wanting to revisit those days.
It's fun. It makes it, especially when you do it frequently. It just every now and then when you mix it up and you're like, I'm gonna hit this fucking bong and then I'm gonna smoke this fucking joint. It's stupid internal slow progression of it's a little victory as far as planning your ascent into some type of peace.
Anybody who smokes knows exactly what he's talking about. Non-stoners are like, this dude's a fucking asshole. But I know exactly what you mean.
I'm on their side.
Which one of those guitars is your favorite? I don't want to get too far away from the instruments until we are away from the instruments.
Sure. I definitely the acoustic. Just because that's what I play on most, that's what I write on most, that's how most of everything starts. But most of my music has a way more electric guitar than acoustic guitar. So recording wise, this one is also my favorite. And then
you mind holding it up? Just show the camera. Yeah.
This little dusty Gretsch. This thing's just fucking awesome.
Low old dusty Gretsch. Comes in clutch.
It absolutely does. And that bass behind there, which is a $70 Yamaha bass, for some reason sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's all you need.
And it's just one of those instruments that there's not necessarily a reason for it to be good, and it is, and so I just haven't gotten anything.
Because it's in the hands of Zack Tomasko.
It's not that. It sounds nice.
Where do you record your music? Do you record it all right here?
Right here.
Yeah?
Yep.
Ooh, I mean, I see shit going on, but I don't know if you... Wow, man, that's pretty cool. And, so what's the process like? How, do you sit down here and write these songs? And is it all one, you record them right then and there? Or how does it work down here? What goes on?
It happens all kinds of ways. Sometimes I'll, sit down with that keyboard and actually, work on lyrics to something and kind of start figuring out the ideas. Usually I either get both at once or them very slowly separate. It's really one or the other. Where I come up with a lyric and I'm I know what goes behind that and I need to make it sound like that there. And then there's other times where I have no idea, and I just sit down and I'm like, pick random noises and see what happens, and just start like breaking as many things as possible as far as like what's supposed to be. I try to write pop songs and fuck them up.
Yeah,
that's really what I try to do. Like, I try to make catchy, like, those kind of songs with different instrumentation and things that you don't necessarily hear in them.
What would you call that? Like crust pop or something?
Dude,
Is that what punk pop actually is?
I don't know what it is, because there's like, for some reason I got like
Rage Against the Pop Machine. Is that like
it's there's definitely a that, but that definitely exists within me, but not I really do still like, I love pop music. I like that there's a thing that's able to get everyone. Like, I love a good Old Town Road. Like, Old Town Road is amazing.
I can't say that I haven't caught myself saying it like...
Everybody united behind this.
You really never heard it?
Never heard it.
It's so worth a listen, just to be a part of a global phenomenon.
Yeah, dude, I'll send it to you.
It's so worth it.
That's crazy.
But
I didn't know there was anyone in the world who never heard it.
That's what. Yeah, that was surprising to me. But
the last time I heard pop radio was with Velvet Revolver. Shut that shit down.
Jesus Christ.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fair assessment.
Drew's old school.
Yeah,
Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
Man.
In any sense. In real life, in a comic book, I don't care.
I don't know. I know it's like a cheap thing, but I've always like the middle. Like, just as neutral as possible, and like trying to be like, I don't know, definitely aiming for good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like
the way
I'm not,
the Force is supposed to be.
I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Yeah. Like, let me put it to you this way. If it was possible for my occupation to literally be samurai, without a doubt, I would have got whatever degree, like whatever that track is.
So if you're out there hiring samurais,
unfortunately I'm too late, because I'm talking like 4 years old, like, start training me with a blade. That's like, I want, like, if
can't teach an old Zack new tricks.
That actual lifestyle of like all I've known is bloodshed. Like, that's what I would like.
Isn't that the life you've led, though? Isn't that like? Isn't that how we've got here? Isn't that why we're here? The life of bloodshed of Zack Tomasko.
There's been some blood spilt, but there's not. It's
Youngstown, baby.
It's I don't know if that's how we got here somehow. We're here. That's all. That's my only input on how. I am right here.
I saw this like short film on YouTube called Zack Tomasko Just Won't Die.
Correct.
So I know that there is some sort of. It's there. I don't. Dude, can you tell people about that? I don't even know if I could describe it that well. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you very much. What it actually is a merch promo that's really long.
This is a really long merch promo.
That was for, I was like, I made a bunch of merch and like ridiculous things that I didn't think anyone would buy, and then like a few people bought some things, and I was like, all right, that's cool. That's exciting. But I just to announce that I had a merch store, it was this weird video that I like scored, and I wrote it on the way to Columbus, and then it was just like, hey, do you want to film? Okay, it's going to be like 20 degrees in Mill Creek Park today. Let's go crawl around in the fucking mud and have dance fights and almost get kidnapped and then emerge with a heart. It really didn't make any sense, and just because this might still happen, and I don't want to throw it all the way out if it doesn't. It is the first of a trilogy.
Oh.
But I don't know if that will ever see the light. But parts 2 and 3 have been written.
Hey, bro, listen, if you ever need help filming audio, I'm sure we could.
Dude, I'd love to.
Zach, we'll help you make your next really long merch promo.
Dude, there's a lot of shit getting made.
Where
A lot
can
of
people
stuff.
find this merch? Do you have the merch?
ZackTomasko.com or ZackTomasko.com, and then you click on the little menu thing, and it's like home and merch.
That's
Home
it.
and merch.
Just buy shit.
ZackTomasko.com.
ZackTomasko.buy shit.
I prefer it. I'd prefer it, or at least I should see if .org is available, or .gov.
Who's your favorite professional wrestler of all time?
Oh fuck. Probably Macho Man Randy Savage, just because like I imitate a lot of things, or try to, and his is so, like yelling like that and watching him like his body trying to escape his body in promos is some of the like it's just, and it also just shows how committed to like getting that shit done he was. Like that his body looked horrible.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look healthy.
Yeah.
But he was like, this is how I have to look for everyone.
He was fucking awesome. He really was an absolute performer.
And his rap album, fucking the what's
Yeah, since this is a music show. It's not something I would have brought up.
there's one of the no, there's that one song for what, Mr. Perfect? The hey Kurt, we miss you, but we know you're not. But I can't. A Perfect Friend. Yeah, Perfect Friend is one of the. It's fucking hilarious. That song is amazing. Macho Man Randy Savage, Perfect Friend.
I don't know if I should recommend his rap album for people who are or aren't fans of him, but just go check it out. Do you like wintertime, or are you ready for the spring, man?
Definitely both. I've always been kind of like felt more comfortable in the cold. Like I like wearing more clothes. I like the cold. I don't know, things empty. Like there's less people around, and I really like people, but it's also nice to get to look at a parking lot in Mill Creek Park and there being no one there is not like you're the only person. You're just driving through and it's just the park.
Yeah, fuck
like
yeah.
That's nice. And in the winter, like me and Emily celebrated Valentine's Day. We went early because my birthday's today, and so
happy birthday!
Thank you.
Shit.
I was yes.
We got ourselves a Valentine's, baby, folks.
I am a little love boy, and we went up to Michigan, and I was walking on the lake. Like I've never walked on a frozen lake before.
No, that's crazy. I don't think I have.
And it was like I smoked a legal joint in Michigan, standing on a frozen lake after like a tolerance break. And like so I was just looking around and there was nothing but like highway and just silence, and you're just on frozen water and it's flat, there's no one there, and I think it's nice to experience.
It's like beautiful, but it's just fucking cold and miserable at the same time.
But so is being at like a lake in the summer with like a bunch of people. That's fun too. Just there's a reason they're split
keep
up.
your goddamn kids by themselves over with the kids, you know.
Put a fucking mask on, lady.
Karen. I saw this quote from you, and I had to run it by you just because.
Quote?
Yeah, right? There's Zack Tomasko quotes out there. Is Rounders a feel-good movie to you?
Yeah, I really think it is. I don't know why. I don't know if that's
so. Like
good.
you just like watching those guys get the shit kicked out of them.
No, I wouldn't say that. I just think the way it. This is going to really deter the whole thing, but as far as my point that I'm about to make, I could make the same weird argument for Good Will Hunting, which shouldn't be a feel-good movie to anybody, especially because of just how devastating most of the emotional trauma brought on by and in that movie. But it's still, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting.
You're too fucking late.
It's literally, it wraps up with young Ben Affleck and young Matt Damon having written, I gotta go see about a girl. Like, it's the simplest fucking, like, it's just the same arc. It's like, aw, at least it's ending nice.
Yeah.
Like,
even though the whole movie was just,
devastating.
Yeah.
But with Rounders, there's just something about, I like when people I like when people keep losing and then win. And so, like, that feels good. So when that keeps happening and then you kind of... I can't even remember how it ends. I remember being in the street.
What about
It's like
people who
orange.
keep losing and then they lose? Because I'm actually pretty sure that's what happens to one of the characters. Isn't that what happens to Edward Norton in that? He has to, like, scoot town or whatever?
Yeah, but he went too far. That's the thing. There's a line, and you don't cross it.
Don't cross that line, Jack.
And he did. And it's really that simple. There's... In like systems like that, the rules are very simple. Like it's like you do this, or you are physically harmed. It's really that's kind of just it.
That's when they got the hammer and the knuckle scene.
Yeah. Fucking and
not in that film. But
that's
like Casino pops in my head for sure.
Yeah. No, that, and then my kid brother Dominic run the restaurant.
So
I think about that movie every day.
Speaking of movies, what about Sister Act 2?
So I don't know why that has been my Instagram bio for several years. That I couldn't decide on one day, and I don't even think I was watching the movie when I did that. But for some reason, when I was a kid, I fucking loved Sister Act 1 and 2.
Fuck.
I used to watch them like anytime they were on TBS, which for some reason in like the early 2000s was every other day. I watched it all the time.
Do you feel like Whoopi Goldberg really got snubbed for an Oscar on those films?
I don't know. I don't know if they're awards contenders. I think they're definitely great. I don't think Martin Lawrence got an Oscar for Blue Streak, but that was another one from my childhood that I loved. Same kind of vein where I think might not have been on the Academy's radar, but it was the only thing blipping on mine. Like it was all I could think of.
I'm really a big fan of Martin Lawrence. I don't think he gets enough credit. Some people
I agree.
Walk right past the poor little guy. He does look kind of short though. So
Martin
I see that you have this song. It's like, "Are You There, God? It's Me, Zack Tomasko."
Yes.
And I just want to know, did God ever reply?
No.
No, because he's not fucking real, huh?
I don't think anyone's pinned it down quite yet.
No.
I think there's something, but I don't think anyone, like, no one really knows yet. I was raised Catholic. I don't necessarily denounce it. But you know, like anything. I don't really like anyone that believes anything too extremely. Like, if you put all of your eggs in one basket in one capacity, like, it's like, okay, just reel it back and it'll be just fine. And so and that goes for any religion, but same thing for atheism. I'm not. It's the same thing in reverse. It's just like it's the same. Like, I believe in God, so there's nothing you can do to stop me. Well, there isn't one, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. It's like, okay, that's the same.
Just be open-minded.
Just think about it a little bit. Come to your own conclusion.
Yeah, those atheist people are usually assholes.
Because
they're always wrong about what they don't even know like what they are and like what atheism actually is, and then they're just like.
There definitely seems to be a slight trend in, like, I think it's just generally people that believe anything too much. People that, like, same thing with, like, CNN. Like, and I love CNN. I like it because it's, you know, it's a show. But you're getting some information.
It's a show.
So, like, you know, I like watching Chris Cuomo, like, yell at people in a funny way and tear them. It's fun. It's fun.
My takeaway, believe in yourself, folks.
Yeah. It's the best. I beat COVID by lifting in my basement. I can't remember what he said, but it's that same kind of thing. Like, where that's your only team, or Fox News is your only team, or now Newsmax is your only team. It's like something gets blurred, and you're just not open to anything else. And so, I don't know. Just pay attention to what catches your eye, I guess.
Is this Zack Tomasko's final form?
I sure hope not. I don't think so. I think I'm getting close.
The hair's gonna get a little longer, maybe.
I think it's definitely gonna get somehow like cleaned up, but I don't know how much. It's honestly probably a little longer than I want it.
Long hair Zack is cooler than short hair Zack, or
I think they work best as a team.
but not you with other musicians?
Is
Running, like, because I'm just messing with you, but I have a thing in here. I know that you used to be in a band.
Yeah.
How do you feel about running solo compared to being in a band?
I love them both equally, and I want to be in a band. That's absolutely always been the case. I don't want to do all of this alone. It's just a matter of, it's always kind of been, I could never get the right mix or the right kind of, like, the right confidence to lead one the way I can when I'm doing everything. It's mainly that. It's mainly the control factor of, it's not some unable to rely on anyone or believe that they can't do it. It's never been that. It's just, it is undeniably far easier for me to sit up when I wake up and walk over and be it, like, with my band. Like, it's just, and I'm not ruling out playing with other people. I love playing with other people. Playing out live with other people behind you, I never get stage fright. When I'm alone, I'm horrified. But when there's people, I'm like, I'm fine. It's weird. It's when it's a shared experience and, like, I can trust them, then I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Let's do it. Me having a band is always the goal. Like, I've been coming up with names for, like, a band for, like.
What are some of the potential band names?
The one that I'm still sold on to this day is, like, when I actually finally have, like, a group, because I want, and I go back and forth on whether or not I want my name in it or if I just want it to be named something else. But Zack Tomasko with Mystic Waitress has been stuck in my head for, like, 5 to 6 years, and I like the idea of a band called Mystic Waitress. And I've always really liked that, and I want to do that.
So that's the next project.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. There's other little side projects and stuff with some people that I'm trying to get working, especially now that the pandemic's over. And I'm gonna start. Definitely, I'm gonna stop hoarding so much of this stuff and start putting it out, so it's not just like one song every 3 months. And I'm gonna there'll be a handful for a few. I don't know how it's gonna work yet, but it's gonna work.
It'll work somehow.
Yeah, I don't have a plan, but I know what I'm doing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Paul Goon. The show's 13 minutes. That is Zack Tomasko.
Thank you, Paul.
Until next week.
Play flute, row crew shit. If you can't be used well, then I guess you're useless. Ulysses S. Grant, we should start a revolution.